In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the great and some of the not so great things about the Asus Zenfone 10. This is not a full review video, but keep an eye out for that and be sure to check out our full written review linked in the description. Starting off with the good stuff, the Zenfone 10 comes with a 5.92-inch display, making the footprint of the device much smaller than the average smartphone nowadays. This is going to be one of the biggest selling points for this phone, as it's compact and very easy to hang on to and use. This works great in tandem with the specs crammed into this phone. You're looking at high-end stuff here, from the processor to the display. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 has proven to be an excellent chipset, and it's great to see it here in this phone. Having a compact device with a top-of-the-line processor is always welcome, and paired with a display that runs at 120Hz, the fluidity, the speed, and performance here are awesome. Everything from daily tasks to gaming are a breeze, and speaking of gaming, you can actually boost the display to 144Hz with supported games because, well, technically, this is a 144Hz panel. Battery life being good here is such a huge plus, all things considered. Like with most 8 Gen 2 touting devices, you can expect strong endurance. The 4300 mAh battery is plenty, and in our usage, we've been able to get over a full day on a single charge with heavy use, a day and a half with more moderate use, and with light usage, we've had this thing last up to 2 days and sometimes more on a charge. The standby time is pretty amazing too, making it kind of a challenge to drain this battery. Customization is one of Android's best qualities, and the Zenfone's take on it is actually pretty slick. There are a number of tweaks and features you can take advantage of to create a personalized user experience, but things are taken a step further with the ability to choose between a Zen UI or stock Android themed version of different elements. You can change the look of the volume panel, the power menu, the lock screen clock, the incoming call display, and the quick settings panel. This is something I would love to see more OEMs do. It's such a cool feature. The Zenfone 10 comes with a headphone jack. Yeah, whether this is a good thing or entirely negligible is up to the user, but I gotta admit, it's nice to see it live on through phones like this. This phone is proof that robust, high-end internals and a headphone jack can all coexist. While personally, I've about 99% moved on from this port, I'm glad it's here for those that still want and need it. On the flip side of things, we do think the cameras could be a bit better. They're not bad, and for the most part, they absolutely get the job done and will push out more than acceptable results for most users. But for the camera snobs out there, these aren't going to top the competition in the price bracket this phone sits in. I'd mainly look at the need for improved consistency with color reproduction, noise reduction, detail, and exposure, among other things. Again, for basic everyday shots, these cameras do just fine. But if photography is at the top of your priority list, there are other options out there that should come before this phone. Sadly enough, the Zenfone 10 is slated to get just 2 years of OS updates, a far cry from what Samsung, OnePlus, and even Google promised for their devices. Missing out on the latest and greatest features down the road is a huge bummer, especially considering how well equipped this phone is hardware-wise and how capable it'll still be by then. The phone will get 4 years of security updates, which is fine, but it's still 1 year shy of what those other 3 OEMs provide. At this point in time, I feel that phones in this price bracket can do much better than 30-watt charging. It's great that the charger is included, but to me that should be automatic, and it's also great that wireless charging is here. But there are plenty of other phones around that double and even triple the charging speeds found here. Getting a little nitpicky here, there are some parts of the design we wish could have been polished or tweaked a bit. For one, the bezels aren't exactly small. They aren't symmetrical either. The chin is noticeably larger than the forehead. Another thing, something that bothers me personally, is that the power button, which doubles as a fingerprint reader, is almost completely flush with the side of the phone, making it a bit of a challenge to locate sometimes. We realize that the feel of this phone may not be for everyone. It's got a heavily textured back that is very different from what most phones have nowadays, and while I like it personally, I get that some just won't at all. In fact, I've seen a number of people come out to say that they dislike it because it makes the phone feel super cheap. To each their own though. Make sure to check out our full written review that digs deeper into what it's like to use the Zenfone 10 linked below, and keep an eye out for our long-term video review here on the channel. Hope you enjoyed. It's been Zach, and thanks for watching.